Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Carol Matebula once again coming to you and saying, hello, 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 beautiful people. This is me coming into your home, wherever you are, and saying, yeah, I am here, the Queen of Africa, really adoring the earth where I come from. And I realize that when we honor something deeply within ourselves, really honor something, hiccups of the happenings don't attach themselves to you. You become kind of aware, you become very peaceful within your soul because you know who you are. I think that the first thing that I want to say is what makes us we and what makes us so powerful is remembering where we come from. Now, remembering where it comes from, it can be tricky though, because remembrance, it also needs a sense of movement. Remembrance, it does not mean frozen time. It does not mean frozen thoughts. It does not mean frozen vision. Remembering where you come from, it is actually a force, power to move you to where you want to see the change. That's why I love this saying that says, be the change you want to see in the world. And I have taken that and I have transformed that into be the change you want to see in the continent of Africa. And then, of course, being from South Africa, I am of South African descent. I am born in that beautiful land where I am surrounded with mountains from left to right. And being a Sotho woman, I originally my family they are from Lesotho. My great grandmom was born in Lesotho, Botabote, which is Botabote. It's actually the city of mountain. There are Maluti, Kimaluti, Kamona, Nale Kamona, Kilabona, and then we also are the people who are very proud. You know, we are the people who ride horses. Our transportation is horses, and then we cover ourselves with these beautiful blankets, and these blankets represent a sense of comfortability and sense of warmth and togetherness and pride of identity. Now, being of that tribe, I know that tribe it can be classified as something very negative around the world, but tribal, it is actually our beauty, our sense of joy, and our sense of skeleton, how we dance, because of each and every one of us, we have our different rhythms of dancing, and then this dancing really identify us. We know from the movement who's a Sotu, who's a Tosa, who's a Tonga, who's a Pedi, who's a Shangani, who's a Venda, we are many of us who's Pedi. There is so many of us. And what I remember for me, what represent me to this world is that I am. Now, the subject today is Africa. Embrace your heritage instead of embracing the traumas of the world. And this is so much what I see out there and here. I hear a song about Africa, Africa that, Africa that, Africa that. But the mere fact is that there is also a big sense of frozenness via trauma. I think the skeleton in our room as Africans, it's this word trauma. The skeleton in our room, the snake, the hidden snake that keeps coming and biting us every second of every minute. It's identification of trauma, how to identify trauma, and how to give trauma its position away from us. How to take trauma and really put it in a box and don't be angry with it, and then find a river somewhere, wherever you are, visualize the river, and taking this trauma of yours and then wrap it in a beautiful, beautiful color that you adore. I adore pink. I'm very pinky, and I don't know why, but I adore pink. All the colors that are vibrant, those are my colors. So what I have done in my past was to take my traumas and look at them very, very clear and take the lessons of my strength and my capacity that I have went through trauma, and I had embraced those traumas. And after I had embraced them in all angles of it, because trauma, it's not only from one door. And this is what today is about Africa. Of course, I'm an African queen, and there is lots of things that I'm gonna say to you today that makes me adore the fact of being an African. What does it mean for me to be an African? What does it mean for me to be? What does this traumas mean to me? What have they made me view? What has they made me see? So today we're going a little bit more at home. When I say at home, to the subjects that are dearly to my heart. Now, being an African, firstly, you need to say, I'm a human being. That's number one. I am a human being. And secondly, you have to say, I come from such an amazing, incredible continent. A continent that has a hidden language that evaporates from all corners of the world. There is no one in the world who does not know the continent Africa. Africa is the most advertised continent in the world. It is the most spoken about continent in the world. It is the most visited continent in the world. It is the most wanted continent in the world. Because the continent Africa, it's a rich continent. It has all different kinds of, when you think of, what do you call it? This garden where Eve and what's his name, Adam and Eve ate an apple there, where there was all different kinds of fruits and da 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 da. I truly believe that Garden of Eden it's definitely the continent of Africa. This is not me going political. This is me doing my best to celebrate the continent of Africa. Now, with a story, you can create the world. With a story, you can reshape the minds and thoughts of people, just depending on where people are at. Now, it's very important to understand where you're at would allow you to just follow the storyline, or where you're at would allow you to re-evaluate the storyline and look behind the storyline. So for me, as an African daughter who came from such powerful country where we have rivers, we have mountains, we have so much, my God, and yet the storyline of the universe, while marketing Africa to the core of their ability and spending lots and lots of money to advertise Africa, says that Africa, it's in a mercy of hunger, dying, waiting to be saved out of its life force. Listen to that storyline. Africa, it's a dying continent in a mercy of the world so that it can have its life force. And because of when you advertise something, advertisement, it's a biggest political line in this world. Advertisement is actually what goes into people's home. It started with radios. Before, when there was no TVs, when there was no radios, we didn't know what was going on in each parts of the world, in people's world. We didn't know. We needed a storyline. We needed to create something that can resonate our voice from one corner to another of the earth. And people got fascinated because they were hearing voices, things that they have never heard before. They were just used to their voices, and suddenly there was this new discovery. never not knowing that this new discovery was going to destroy the core of the laws of the universe. Because in the laws of the universe, there's no salvation. Let's really be very clear. In the laws of the universe, the salvation, it's not designed. Abundant, it's designed. Animals don't rely on the mercy of humans. All animals survive. Not having their shops, not having their systematic that the human being has designed. Even though he's suddenly trying to go into the animal world and say, we need to feed them. Now realize, Africa, that only when you really change your traumas into embracing your heritage, so shall you really understand that the abundance stares at you every second of every minute. The question is, the big question is, how much have you taken the trauma as your biggest story of the day? How much have you taken the trauma and romanticize it and make it such a romantic story of you are captured? Because of you are captured, you are taken away. Because of you are taken away, you deserve that. You deserve that. But actually missing out exactly what you were given, missing out your gifts. I am the product of so-called trauma from all angles of life, politically, family, and abundance. Being abundant as a little girl, not really knowing the structure of family. What does really family mean? Sometimes I get to be around families, and I get to shiver and struggle because I don't know really what does the structure of family means, because I was never introduced to femininess. I'm not a girl who came from the essence of family. I am a woman who came, and I will always say girl, because for me, my world would only shine if I'm aware that actually being a girl, that has been my essence. Being a girl, that's what has made me me. So sometimes you'll hear me say a girl, because somewhere, somehow within me, as this woman who's so strong, I'm also classifying myself as a girl, because of that's where it all began. It began, my strength of discovery began from a very, very early age, from a very little girl trying to find out how to survive, how to stay very strong and connected to my core existence and my peace in this world. How was I going to do that? So that's when the little girl remained a girl, and even today I'm still embracing that girl. So how do I embrace this girl, this woman, this mirror that I'm watching as I'm talking to you right now? I had to define myself. I had to really find ways to enjoy my universe, not to be scared and to be controlled and to be made feel less of myself. No one can make me feel less of myself. My God, I really don't care which part of the world do you come from. Do you think you're from royal world? What is royal? What does that mean? I question a lot of things. If you think you're royal, that's a theatrical that you have created. We're living in a world of theater all around us, ever presented theater. Some of them, they make this grand exits and this grand landing. It's always about theater, see how big it is. It's big. And then there's lots of people running around me. I'm a queen, I'm a king, watch me. It's just a storyline. At the end of the day, there's no such a thing as queen, kings, president. It's a theatrical that it's designed. It's designed to make you see that you don't own that. Ever wanting to run to reach to that. A human being has created a ladder. Some of them, they have created a ladder as if there's a ladder that reaches to the highest skies above us. As if, yes, they have created things now. They are designing hotels on the moon. Yes, I hear that you can, the rich people, they're about to move to the moon. They found a planet somewhere on the earth. Yes, they found it by exploration, but that does not make them the best than everyone. They just swim deeper into the exploration of the earth. And that's it. You either an explorer or you either someone who's enjoying the space where you're at. And it does not mean that the bigger explorer is better than the one who's enjoying the space where they're at. Because the space where you're at, it is your comfort. It is your comfortability. So sometimes what I find then around Africa, around the continent of Africa, is that instead of really sharing our views and sharing our essence of being the continent, as we look alike, all of us, there's lots of division and there's lots of words I hear sometimes, and I think, Africa, wake up. You can only be Africa when you realize that you carry such an amazing heritage, all of you. Does not matter which part of the corner of the world you come from, Africa. What you need to do, Africa, it is to stop embracing the traumas and stop looking out. Be creative with where you came from. Don't tell the story of being beaten up. Tell the story of being beaten up, but let your skeleton ever shine the light of glory and the light of the one who have discovered her inner being. I live with the inner being. My inner being, it is my essence. My inner being protects me. Me being an African, I reside around the continent Africa. My exploration and my drive, my career, my growth, my breath, everything I am, it's Africa. It's representing Africa. And then I don't represent Africa with a sense of fear. I don't represent Africa with a sense of apology. I don't walk around and say, you know what, I am this, please forgive me, but this is who I am. I am just representing Africa because I love Africa. It's not a political story and it's not something to rectify. It's just the fact that it is that. It is that. I'm the continent of Africa, yet I'm a human being. So taking these two things and making an amazing cocktail out of it, it can only make you shine. And of course, as you walk around the world, you see the imbalances. You see it. You see it, how much people who are lost in their own selves as well. Because remember, being lost does not mean that it's only an African story. When you are lost, it's when you judge others. When you're around in a room full of amazing souls, and you stand out and you think, I am more than you. Once you have that in you, you have to really stop and ask, what has made you believe that you're more? Are you really more as you think you are, and you are inferior? You've got a lack of understanding of yourself. That's why you think you have to be more than another. And this has nothing to do with color, has something to do with humans just as we are. So I really don't think that I am better than anyone. I think that I'm in peace with who I am. Even though there has been so much trauma, but I'm not whole by trauma. I am whole by my heritage. What I have inherited in this world, firstly, above all, what I have inherited in this world, which is the world, in the face of Mother Earth, in the face of God, in the face of what it is, the coating of this universal varsity, there's no such thing as borders. Every so that it's created migraines. There is birds that goes for migration yearly base, ever searching for the comfort of the heat around the world. And they'll fly months and months, ever landing until they land to their destination. And these birds don't have what do you call? They don't have borders. The only thing that they have is obstacles. While they are very, very much aware of it, that there are obstacles in this world, and every single thing in this world has to overgo through obstacles, because of these obstacles teaches us. And these obstacles, they are designed, they are part of us. Now, what do you do with your obstacles? Are you frozen in ice of memory cells where you ever thought of your traumas? Your traumas are your gold that you wake up in and embrace and hold them so dearly. Or are you waking up every day and thinking about your heritage? What have you inherited yesterday? What did you inherit to the meetings that you have been in the past? Where do you want to find yourself in? How comfortable are you with you, just you as you are? Because I'm telling you, dear brothers and sisters, I have understood it in this world. You are either marked because of you can't speak perfect English, and you are marked by everyone, not only the ones who have created the language. And the one who have created the language, really, they don't really give a damn how much you map that language of theirs. As long as you're speaking their language, you're already in their thoughts, you're already captured. Oh, yeah. Ever are your own people are coating and toning and putting and try to make you believe that because of you don't speak it to the highest that they have taught us, you are not where to be found, and you can't land. And I say nonsense. There's a little girl somewhere in Africa today who has an amazing dreams, who can come with something that will change the face of the universe. But that girl's her obstacles suddenly, seemingly, as she would never reach there. But little girl, you can reach there. There's that little girl, she's in Europe today as we're speaking. That little girl, she's in China. That little girl, she's in India. That little girl, she's in Japan. That little girl, she's in all corners of the universe. But we are made believe that only those girls are found in the third world. And I wonder, what is this nonsense that? Were you born with a map that was going to tell you that this was going to be the first and third and etc.? Because, of course, we've got a concrete world where everything is made so perfect that the buildings ever getting higher and higher, thinking that they are close to God. And because of we believe that these high buildings, and as strong structured as they have built them, we believe that all the world should be like that. Yet you have the continent of Africa where it's ever open lands, where you can reach air from. When you get there, your lungs expand because of they get air in its core foundation. And then you ask yourself, how can I be of the third world when I have all these resources? Yes, obstacles of stories pave us differently. Yes, obstacles of our parenthood pave us differently. Yes, our violence in our family pave us differently. Yes, the violence of the politics pave us differently. But after they have paved you differently, what are you doing to rectify that for you to be the foundation of your own universe, the foundation of your own train that you're in? As you know that this is a train, you guys, this is an athlete plane. It's like an airplane where you purchase a ticket, you have to go, and you can only land according to how that train was driven. It's the same with your life. How are you driving your life? So I, Carol Matebula, having to come from circumstances, and I'm a daughter of circumstances, fully. You talk rage, I know it in its full. You talk human's fury, I've experienced experienced in full. I experienced knives. I've experienced guns. I was nearly shot. I've experienced people killing others. I've experienced rapes. I have experienced being abandoned by my mom for age 3 months while I was so vulnerable. I've experienced not knowing my father for years. I've experienced being beaten up. I have experienced running away from home at the age of 14 to try to understand this land, because I was just a newcomer in this world. And suddenly, instead of me understanding it was flee, otherwise you get captured and banned for life, I had to run to my destiny. And my life, as you're seeing there, looking at Carol and wonder who's Carol. Carol started her life at the age of 14 to become this beautiful angel that she is. Carol had to run away from obstacles of the madness of the unknown self, the madness of the trauma that we embrace instead of embracing our heritage. And she had to understand what the heritage had to offer instead of the traumas, you know. So I'm sharing with you the core of who I am, to realize that there's always a possibility for everyone to become who they want to be, no matter what the storyline looks like. Rewritten memories. I call myself rewritten memories. My book would come one day called Rewritten Memories. You come here with a storyline, a script that is written for you, but that's not your script. You got to take that script and rewrite it. But when you rewrite that script, always remember the character, the main character in that book that you're rewriting. You are the main character. And as a main character, what do you want to share with the world? What do you want the world to know about you? And for me, what I want the world to know about me is that this world is beautiful, and there's much for everyone. The only thing, how do you go in within yourself and find you? And don't be lazy as well. You got to be creative. You got to be at it, who you are, every second of every minute. Engage with others. Have few friends, those you call your best. There's a woman that I really, really adore at this moment. Her name is Carol Rose. She's my closest sister that I hang around with. And I found another sister who's really, really powerful, which I'm about to really, really embark into a world slowly, but yet getting to know her. I find myself so much in her. We come from the same land. Sister Pomela, amazing sister. Ever so soft, ever so humble, ever so gentle, but yet such a force of thunder of the world. When you're around her, your world evaporates. And these two women, they hold that for me, and I'm so honored to be around them and that I can mingle with them, because these women represent for me my Africanness. Then I have my beautiful sister, which is she's from Holland. Her name is Mary. I interact with Mary, and we speak about everything. She's of the Dutch. She's a Dutch woman. For about 3 years now, this sister has been there for me a big time. And of course, Wim Verstrekken, my ex-husband, he has been the pillar of my breath. Yes, we have experienced pain. We have experienced so many things. But what I find about Wim Verstrekken, he had taught me how to be a woman, how to understand the layers of marriageness. What does marriage mean? Is it marriage really what it is, or is it there's more into marriage? And what I realized today, for me to be able to mention him, is that we were free to be not perfect. We were free to experience the madness of marriage and the unknownness of marriage. And today we are the most beautiful friends ever. And he's from Belgium. So for me, and of course, I've got my beautiful friends back home, such as, of course, Brother Yanda. I'll speak about you because of you are a brother that when I speak about, I think of Africa and I think of I'm protected. I've got brothers out there such as Yanda. I can mention lots of them, and those who are supporting me, those when they see Carol and then they brother Caesar, you surprise me, the fact that I come into Ubuntu group and then I share and you're always there from the moment you see me. You're like, this is the sister that I want to listen to. And so this is life. This is what I'm talking about, embracing your heritage. Embrace what's around you for you to be able to shine. Choose people that you really, really find amazing and embrace them. And then yet embrace your spirit. And also there's this thing, there's this spirituality that we speak about. I grew up with the essence of spirituality. Spirit for me, it's not a game. Spirituality, it's not a game. Spirituality, it's about knowing your presence, knowing your atmosphere, knowing what you send out there in the world. And as you send it, yes, sometimes people, they might get intimidated by it. But that's your spirit. Everything around the world, it's intimidating. But then once they get to know you, they realize that he's actually such a humble spirit. Now, what are you presenting today? I am presenting my heritage. All that I have said, all of those are my heritage. Not me coming from South Africa, apartheid. God, what is that? The moment I say, oh, I was from South Africa, apartheid, I'm still giving the descendants of that world power because they think that I can only breathe by mentioning apartheid. 1990, not even 1990, in the 80s, early 80s, when I was running around the streets of South Africa through the riots, singing the songs of Umzabalazo, that's when apartheid in my spirit was broken. When I used to experience tear gas as a little girl, rubber bullets, I have some wounds on my body that I can showcase of rubber bullets, fighting for us to understand our own story, fighting for us to rewrite our story, not fighting to end apartheid. We were not fighting to end apartheid. We were fighting to create, to rewrite the stories in South Africa. So from the moment I understood that, and I understood that very early, when I went to vote for Mandela, I was already very free. The freedom didn't start for me writing, putting a signature, putting a tick on the on the ballot of voting for ANC. I was already free because of that Mzabalazo. When Winnie Mandela used to stand there and speak, long before we even knew about Mandela, was already helping us to rewrite our story, to understand that you can never say yes and you can never bow. It does not matter how glorious and how rich they might present it on your table. It does not matter how much castles they might invite you at with their silver spoons and gold spoons and polished walls. That does not mean freedom. Freedom, it means being able to celebrate your heritage. And celebrating your heritage, it's not mentioning the trauma. Yes, the trauma you remember, but the trauma, you have to design a diamond out of trauma. Remember, I said before, even the diamonds that are worn on the fingers for women to try to mark the status of high society and low society, those diamonds are ripped out of the earth. They are raped out of their land where they belong to do the secrecy of the world underneath. We take them because of we believe by being close to them, so can we be. So everything that is ripped of its essence, it is actually the power of its essence. So for me, I don't live in a world of captivity. I don't believe that I was captured. The ones who have captured others, the ones who have sold others as slaves, those are the ones who were captured. Because when you hold someone away from their own will, the one who's held It's actually the peaceful one. And it's the one not to think that you are under so-called trauma. The ones who's traumatizing you, that's the one who's in trauma. So my freedomness, it comes from, I know who I am. And who I am, it's not the fact that I was captured. It's a trauma. And trauma, if you really understand that, the more you sing the song, that's why there's in movies, there's always this silly movies of slavery, this silly movies reminding our kids, like Kunte Kinte, one of the horrifying movie that I have ever seen. And I left it within quarter, and I left the movie, and I thought, what is this? I don't want to live into my eyes, exposing my eyes into the trauma of the past. Because the trauma of the past, history, the secrecy around history is ever capturing you in the Iceland where everything is frozen. I live with the present moment. The history that is happening today, that's what I'm very, very aware of. Because of the history that happens today, it's going to create a frozenness for some of us for 50 years to come. So what you watch, it's to now. Because of now, it's paving 50 years again to where we are going. We are going to 2020, and 2020, it's another part of our life, and soon we'll be out of here. So what I'm saying to you, be creative. So what did I do? Instead of me being a victim, I looked at from the age of 14, when I ran away from the world, where I realized that if I was going to stay in this world, which that world had nothing to do with anyone but my own kind of people world, I knew that I was going to be imprisoned for life. Because of those people had tried to imprison me. And these people, they were not white. These people, they were not Indians. These people were my own kind of black people who are in prison themselves. Remember what I said, the one who captures others, it's the one who's more in prison. So I had to run away from their prison world. So from the age of 14, I ran away from home, searching for my freedom, searching for me to become something of responsible in this world, and ever asking for help. And of course, I moved from one different strange home to another different strange home. There were moments when I was living with guys from Angola, Marcos, Efizio, Fernando, and what's his name again? I forgot them, but I lived with these beautiful brothers, and it was Portuguese from here to Tokyo, and it was just me exploring the world, and they taught me and they embraced me, and they looked after me as if I was their sister. And this is me exploring. And there was a time when I was around the Chinese people, where I was surrounded with about maybe 18 Chinese, and I was the only black girl in this. And they embraced me. They taught me about secrecy of their world when it comes to meditating and all that. And of course, I moved from that, and I was around the Flemish people, and only me, South African black girl, and ever speaking English. And through that, of course, I suddenly lost my language a little bit because I was in exploration. I was exploring the world. Dear Lord, have I explored? And ever hearing different sounds of different melodies. But the story was, I wanted to embrace my Africanism, not politically, but creativity. So now, these are my products. I always loved smells, as I told you in the past, that I used to go around the bush and take the flowers when they were still before they emerge. They would capture this. They would have this tonic around them, and I would take this tonic and rub it all around my face, all around my body, around my teeth. It was incredible. Some of them I would eat them to try to taste which ones were nicer, and some of them were bad, and some of them, they had kind of milkiness. I'll put them in my skin just to react, to see their reaction, and I learned. And then of course I played with things like spiders. I used to like to play with, what do you call this one? The one that stands like this when it's angry and it's about to, when it bites you, you are completely dead within a second. And I used to like to play with a Scorpio. I used to love playing with Scorpios, Scorpio, to see their fury. And then when they breathe, that smell, you know, I was a girl who was very creativity. So because of nature was of my essence and my storyline, that I was going to be nothing. Lots of people told me that you were going to be nothing in this world. You are going to be nothing. We won't take you to school. We won't do that. We won't do that. They say they want, but what did Mother Nature say? Mother Nature said, no, we're going to create you to be something that will change the voice of the world. So I am a child. I am that child that they will say they need to support. They need to go into Africa and rescue. Those kids don't need rescuing. Those kids need to be told that keep on it, honey. That dream that you have, keep on it. But search, don't stay in one area. Search for who you can talk. Talk to everyone about your dreams. Tell them about your stories and tell them about your desire. Have a dream that you want to accomplish. Choose one subject or two and make those subjects to be the subjects that's going to take you to the world. Make one subject of your background that you are going through at this moment, whatever story that you're going through, put your whole subconsciousness at it. Study each and every angle of it. It might be pain, it might be humiliation, it might be not having a home, it might, whatever that you're going through at this moment, meditate upon it and look at those who are doing it and look at their emptiness. And understand that they don't do that because of their way. They do it because of their lost. Are you going to be lost in their story of trauma? Or are you going to find yourself through paving whatever that you're going through at this moment as your heritage? So this is the story today. So soon I'm going to Holland. And of course, me being Carol and standing here beautifully, strongly, beautifully humble as I am, these are my products. These are my products. And these products, they are made with African touch in it. Because for me, Africa, it's not the one that people have to ask for forgiveness. Africa, it's the one that I have to celebrate and just enjoy its essence. So I enjoy Africa. I don't blame anyone. Yes, everyone is captured, as I said, in their story of not knowing themselves. And some of us, we do it by blaming others. Some of us, we do it by blaming ourselves. Some of us, we're doing it by abusing our one kind. And some of us, we get out of our land to go abuse outside because we don't know ourselves. So that's not my story. My story is changing who I am and making it something amazing. So these are my products. Now, what you see here, it's the one that I call Liwatle. And I call it Liwatle because I love the ocean. It's called the blue ocean. Now, why the blue ocean? Because the ocean is something very dear to us in Africa. Very, very dear. There's a secrecy in Africa that everyone, when you go to the ocean, you have to come back home with the water and the scent. You have to put the scent, firstly, in a bottle like this. They always bring water, especially when you're far away from Liwatle. People get the water and then they put scent like that, and then they put water like that, half of the two, because they believe that the water holds the secrecy of our answers. Now, having to be so close with the ocean, my great-grandmom had said to me one day, Carol, when you find yourself lost in this universe and you need answers, the place that will always give you your answers, it's the ocean. When you feel yourself are stuck and not knowing where to go to the ocean and meditate, and all your dreams would come true. So now this oil, it's called Liwatle. It's very relaxing. When you touch it and you apply it on your skin, I use them on my skin. My skin, it's looked after by my products, and you can see I've got such a beautiful skin. Now, Liwatle, when I had to find a name for Vunkuwa when I started in the 90s, I'm sorry, mid 90s, I had to find a name for what I had started as Vunkuwa African Massage. Because as I looked around, there was nothing called African massage anywhere in the world. Nothing at all. And I asked question, why there is no African massage? I mean, I grew up massaging my great grandmom. I grew up massaging women when they were pregnant with water retention. And I was looking for a career. And of course, I did fashion for a little while. I went and I studied fashion design for a little while. And I realized this was not me. And I left it. And then I found massage. I brought back the massage of my great grandmom, what I have learned. Of course, I went and studied a little bit, and I realized that nothing that I have learned from home was going to be amazing. So I thought I'm going to bring what I have learned from my home. And then so I had to come up with a name. And the name was going to be something that was going to be around the world that all Africans will be a part of. I didn't want to call it a Sesotho name, which was going to be my name. I didn't want to call it Zulu name. I wanted a name that all Africans could be a part of. And I remember asking people names, and everybody came with, then the voice of my great grandmom came. And this voice said to me, go to the ocean and meditate. And they always say, when you meditate around the ocean and when you're about to get the answers, the emotion of the ocean which changes when you get answers. Indeed, I went to Sea Point, and early morning at about 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's when you want to connect with your spirit in Africa, you have to walk on the dawn when how do you say that? When the hi Ila, hi, and yeah, so you had to go to the ocean when the sunrise, and I went there, and as I was meditating, thinking about the name, because as I said, I wanted the name that all Africans could be a part of. I went there, and as I got there, I started meditating. I need a name. And then suddenly I started feeling the ocean changing, the volume of the ocean changing. And as the volume of the ocean was changing, suddenly the water started really coming, and I became afraid. And I thought, oh God, do I run away here? Do I stand here? But something said to me, stand there. And then the only thing that I remember was a splash of water on my face from the ocean. God, that was the most amazing. Oh, I get tears a little bit because I remember. And deep within me, there was a name, Vunkuwa. And I thought to myself, what is that? And then this name came closer to me and said, Vunkuwa. And I thought, Vunkuwa it is. And so now what I say about the African spirit, it's not a business. It is. We are very spiritual beings. We are connected with nature. So my products are the heritage of Africa. V, it stands for Vunkuwa. Liwatle stands for that moment where I remember my great grandma who had died, and her melody came back and said to me, go to the ocean and meditate and get the name from the ocean. So Vunkuwa, it is actually the name that was given to me by the ocean. So being an African, it's resonating with that atmosphere. We are not a product of trauma. Yes, trauma had happened, but before trauma, who were we? We were the people of the earth. So today, wherever you are, whoever African you are, embrace your heritage. Be proud. Don't mark another by the education of the world, of the West. Your education, it's exactly that education where I had to go to the ocean and carry the name. And this name has become vast as the ocean, took me around the world. Everybody can resonate with Vunkuwa. Vunkuwa had attracted Chinese. Vunkuwa had attracted Japanese. Vunkuwa had everyone who says Vunkuwa says, wow, Carol, what a powerful name. So what I'm saying to you today, trauma, it is not who we are. We are the people of the earth. And let's enjoy being the people of the earth. And remember that your life, your secrecy of your success does not come from the concrete world. The secret of your success comes from your hidden story. Rewrite your memories. And you are not a victim in this world. You are a discoverer in this world, ever exploring the world. That's why it's so big. So those who always watch me, thank you so much. The message is stand strong. This is my logo. You see the logo as well, my logo as well. It is very, very, and when I say embrace Africa, I'm not saying look down on other people, because we are not here to look down on anyone. We are not here to blame anyone. Everyone goes through a systematic of the coating of the universe. It's how you align yourself with the coating of your universe. So yes, I'm spiritual. My spirituality, it makes me very aware of my surrounding. How much aware are you? So this is my logo. This is the continent, Africa. This is where I'm coming from. And when I designed this logo, I was in Belgium. Now, this logo, lots of people had told me that it's ugly. I had to change it. And I said, I'm not changing anything, as I would never change Vunkuwa, because of this is the daughter of Vunkuwa. After Vunkuwa was found, this was found. Now, this is me. I come from the edge of the continent, Africa, South Africa. This is our abundanceness, our fruits, how rich our soil is, and ever remembering that Africa heals the world. So I'm really, really right at the top, which is around exactly where I'm at, Europe, spreading the words of Africa, massaging Africa, telling the world that Africa actually, it is a world that heals the rest of the other continents around the world. So embrace your continent, embrace Africa. We are not the victims. We are not of the trauma. We are of heritage. So remember Lewate when you're here next time. So thank you so much. As I normally do, you guys, always take a moment every day. Today I had a little bit of tears because I remember that powerful moment of my great-grandmom, who's my ancestor, who's watching over me, that I am so amazed and so beautifully honored for who I am. You are not uneducated. You are not ugly. You are not beaten. The stories that are happening to you right now, they're going to take you to the world as Carol has been to the world. I am a child, like a child who's sleeping at the back of the dustbin, as I have slept at the back of the dustbins in my life because I didn't have a home. You understand? So every child in this world, it's not about the richness. There's no such a word as a rich. Richness is how you dig in within yourself of your inner protection, your inner, I call them governors. How much are you equipped with your governors? Because your governors will break the rules. Your governors will go ahead of you as you're going for as you're going for the interview. Always remember to send your governor first, to chat, to prepare the space for you where you're gonna go for the interview. And when you get to that interview, the answers will just be within a blink of an eye because of your governors are working for you. So your governors, it's your ancestors. Your governors are your guardian angels. Your governors are. So when you believe in your governors, then you believe in yourself. How do we make it in this world? It's to having self-confidence. It's not blaming anyone. It's not believing that I'm this because of my mom, I'm this because of my father, I'm this because of, some of us, we do not have mothers and fathers. So we have no one to blame. My father took an exit. And when I met my father at the age of 14, I understood why he took an exit. I looked at him and I said, I understand why you left. And I'm not going to blame you because you look like life beat you up. So my father was beaten up. Was I going to be beaten up? I had to repair the beating up of my father by being a better image for him, to represent him, to make him celebrate the essence of life through me, to make my mother experience the essence of life through me, for me being peaceful and finding the peace and love in the world. So I thank you so much, and I shall bow and say, I see you again. I'm going to be away for starting from tomorrow. I'm going to be in Holland. You'll see me probably live when I have a moment, but I'm going away for events and workshops. And thank you so much for watching. I see you when I have moment in Holland. And if not, watch me around this time. I'm always on from 8 o'clock onwards. Thank you so much. Hi, Ila. I thank you so much for watching, sis, our brother. God bless. Have a wonderful day ahead. One love.